let's talk about dipping.
Skull long cut. Now it's not chewing tobacco. Long cut means it packs easy.
No, not that kind of dipping. Dipping, the exercise, works your arms, specifically your triceps, and your chest. A bit your shoulders as well, but it's also very bad for the shoulder joint. Now, the good news is, with one simple tweak, you can totally change your dip exercises so that you work your muscles without the collateral damage done to the joint. First, some background on the traditional dip exercise. Now, this is done with your thumbs in line so that they are in parallel as you go up and down during that regular dip. Unfortunately, this causes the extremely stressful motion of internal rotation on that shoulder joint. As you can see, my shoulder rotates forward and points downward during this traditional dip. This is the strain that can damage the shoulder joint. Yes, there are methods that try to reduce the magnitude of shoulder strain during a traditional dip exercise. But there's one modification that is way easier to do and way more effective in terms of helping your joint. And it's a simple flip of the grip. That's it. A simple flip of the grip can make for a much better dip. And the flip dip grip should be made hip because the flip dip grip is much better for the shoulder. So rather than the traditional dip, in which your thumbs are parallel to each other, you should do dips like this, with your thumbs in line, on a barbell. I call this exercise the branch dip. No. Branch dip. Branch. Branch dip. So why does the branch dip actually help the shoulder, whereas the traditional dip hurts the shoulder? Like everything, it just goes back to evolution.
Evolution is a theory, a harebrained theory that says I'm a monkey. I'm not a monkey. I'm a woman.
Okay.
When climbing a tree, as our ancestors have had to do for the past 10 million plus years, an individual would have to push him or herself up against the tree branches in order to ascend higher. And this evolutionary movement can be replicated in the gym as a dip, which is why I call the exercise the branch dip. When your hands are out in front of your body in the case of a branch dip, rather than by your sides during that traditional dip, your shoulder blades rotate downwards, a natural protection which will help prevent internal rotation from damaging the shoulder joint. You can see here during the traditional dip that the shoulder is pointing downwards, which is that internal rotation movement, whereas during the branch dip, the shoulder is protected and pointed more straight forward rather than down. It may not look like much, but there's actually almost a 30-degree difference in internal rotation between the traditional dip and the branch dip. And see, the branch dip will still hit your pectoral and triceps muscles, but it won't put strain on the shoulder joint. And if you've sworn off traditional dips because you can feel them hurting your shoulder, no worries. Now you can replace them with the branch dip, keep your shoulder safe, and still work your upper body muscles. Plus, there's a succulent little cherry right on top of the sundae that is the branch dip exercise. Yes, branch dip exercises are better for the shoulder joint than traditional dips. But not only are they better, they can actually help heal your shoulder too. Now, my evidence for this comes from a 1992 study from the American Journal of Sports Medicine, where the authors took a whole plethora of shoulder rehab exercises, and they concluded that 3 in particular were really, really good for the shoulder. Now, one of those 3 is called the press-up movement, and this is the press-up movement. Looking at them side by side, we can see how similar the rehabilitative press-up is to that branch dip. Now, the branch dip can be done normally, or with additional weight for an added strength challenge, or you can get your legs involved to work your core and to improve your mobility. In toto, all of this suggests that the branch dip is just a great exercise. Good for the triceps, it's great for the chest, but you can actually do it without hurting your shoulders, and in fact helping your shoulders. And that's why I recommend every lifter should phase out traditional dips and replace them with branch dips.